Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Coach's Corner. I'm here with head football coach Tom Perkovich. Now, Coach, congrats on your first win here at SU. What kind of feeling was it when you were able to go into the victory formation there and get your first win as a head coach here at SU, and especially it being at home?
Well, it was outstanding. A lot of work's gone into getting to this point for me is to be a head coach and obviously get our first win. Our kids have been working really hard since January when I arrived, and to see all their hard work come to fruition against their rival, there's not even words. I thought our coaches did a great job with the game plan, and our kids executed it well, and we played very well to beat a good team.
Now, I want to start off on the defensive end of the ball because they were outstanding on Saturday. Tom McLaughlin receiving Defensive Player of the Week honors, but it was an entire team effort. I mean, you had 4 guys with 9 or more tackles. Is that going to be the standpoint, the kind of cornerstone that you're going to build off of going forward?
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we have to make sure that our guys are in position to make plays, our best players, and I think we did that. We're looking at Tom McLaughlin, Jim Barry, Joe Scalia, to name a few that made a lot of big plays, and that's kind of how our defense is designed, is to put the playmakers in position to make the plays. And obviously, Tommy had the best week out of all of them, and just an outstanding game. But we're really happy with where we're going defensively. Our kids really have bought into the scheme, have been really focused. Matt Scott, our defensive coordinator, has done an outstanding job of, with game planning and adjusting during the game. They went through us pretty good on the first drive, and our kids bounced back. We made the adjustments. They believed in the plan, and it was nice to see those guys play well.
Now, when we talked to each other last week, you said most importantly was stopping the run. You guys forced 3 fumbles. I think you recovered 2 of them and an interception. How important are turnovers to kind of change momentum in the middle of a game?
Well, statistically, if you have less turnovers than your opponent, you're going to win, and so we need our defense to do that. I think the big things we talked about, stopping the run, which we still need to get better at. They still had 200 yards, but we made plays in situational football, and that has been the difference. I thought it was the difference on Saturday when it was time to make plays on third down and red zone. We did a great job, and obviously getting more opportunities for our offense to make plays is going to keep those guys off the field and keep them fresh. So the turnover battle is always week in week out is going to be at the forefront for us.
Now, moving to the offensive side of the ball, Nick Krushko, like you said last week, it's a new offense once again for him. He did a great job. He was very composed, looked like a veteran out there with 259 yards through the air. How promising is it to see your quarterback play like that in week 1?
Well, obviously it's great. The nice thing to see for Nick is in his first start, I think he has a very good grasp of the offense. It's almost like he's in his second year. He's really kind of bought into what we're doing and gotten to know the scheme and know where the ball's supposed to go versus coverage. He has a high football IQ, which really helps him with those things. So we're really happy with where he's at from a development standpoint, and really excited to work with him and hopefully keep those numbers where they're at. We got to eliminate the turnovers. Thought he could have gotten rid of the ball, or not, kind of gone down on the first fumble, and then not forced the ball in on the pick, which was a busted route also. But we got to get those things cleaned up and hold on to the ball, be smart with it. But that was a very good first outing versus a good defense. Now,
what came out especially important to me was your depth. It was one of the things that stood out in week 1. I mean, you had 4 different guys scoring touchdowns. Matty Thies comes off the bench and throws a touchdown pass, which I thought was impressive. Then you had, like I said, 3 forced fumbles, 4 guys with close to double-digit tackles. How important is it with that depth that you can put anyone really out there and know that they could produce something special?
We always have to have, you have to believe in your players. And I think our kids saw that. We talked about that this morning a little bit. When guys go down, the expectation is still high for the other guys that are the backups and the guys coming in. And we showed that with Matt. We were going to call that play no matter what, and that was what we wanted to go to, no matter who was at quarterback. And he came in, he executed it really well. We have enough depth, I think, to really go against maybe the high-paced offenses and be able to handle that defensively and play fast offensively. Our wide receivers, we have 7 guys that I think can really play. 10 guys catch a ball on Saturday, which is pretty rare as you look at it. So we have a lot of talent, and we just have to fit the pieces. I think our guys are in pretty good shape, so we have the ability to keep them fresh and get them off the field for a couple plays when they need it. But we're very happy with where our depth is at most positions throughout our team.
Now, like you said, you're going to be facing some high-powered offense. You're going to be facing one in this week with Johns Hopkins. They put up 52 points in week 1. Is the defensive side of the ball going to be important enough where you got to force 3 turnovers again to kind of hang in the game? Because last year, Susquehanna was right there. I think they were about 6 yards away from putting in that win. How important is it going to be shutting down a high-powered offense like that, but also keeping special teams and offense in their rhythm, because they all played well in week 1?
Well, I actually think it falls more on special teams than offense. I think if our offense is productive and keeps the ball moving and keeps our defense off the field and their offense off the field, that's going to be the key to success. If our defense is out there too much against their talent and their scheme, it's going to be a long day for us. And our special teams have to do a great job with field position. We saw that a little bit against Lyco when we started changing the field position. Good things happen for us. So if we can, do a great job in the kick game, make a difference there, have sustained drives on offense, and obviously finish in the red zone, I think we can have a great day because we have enough speed on defense to let our guys play fast, to make plays. But if they're tired against what they're going to bring, as the number 12, 13 team in the country, it's going to be a long day for us. So it's got to really be a team effort to beat a team of this caliber.
Coach, I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me, and good luck this week down in Baltimore against Johns Hopkins.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate it.